Every morning, before the world asks anything of you, there is a brief and sacred pause. A few quiet seconds between sleep and the weight of the day. And for many of us, that pause is already filled with heaviness, the unfinished problems, the difficult people, the uncertainty. But what if the way you see your hardships is not fixed? What if, in just few quiet minutes each morning, you could gently shift the lens through which you experience everything? Buddhism has carried this wisdom for thousands of years, and this morning it belongs to you. 1. Hardship is not a sign that you are failing. Before anything else, before you check your phone or rehearse your worries, let this land softly in your heart. The difficulties you are facing are not proof that something has gone wrong with your life. They are not punishment. They are not a sign that you are behind or broken or forgotten. In Buddhism, there is a foundational teaching that suffering is a natural part of human existence. The first noble truth does not say that life is bad. It says that life contains difficulty, and that this difficulty is something every human being, without exception, shares with you. Think about that for a moment. Every person who has ever lived has known hardship. The feeling of struggle that wakes with you this morning is one of the most deeply human experiences there is. You are not alone in it. You were never alone in it. So many of us have been quietly conditioned to treat our struggles as personal failures. When things are hard, we turn inward with blame. We ask what is wrong with us. We compare our inner chaos to the composed surfaces of other people's lives, and we conclude silently that we are the problem. Buddhism gently asks you to release that conclusion, not through denial, but through understanding. Your hardships are not a reflection of your worth. They are simply the terrain of a human life. And terrain, no matter how difficult, can always be walked, one mindful step at a time. This morning, let your first reflection be this: I am not failing, I am living. And living, with all its weight and beauty, is exactly what I am here to do. 2. The stories you tell about your pain. The hardship itself is rarely the heaviest part. What weighs us down most deeply is the story we wrap around it. Buddhism speaks of the second arrow. When something painful happens, it is as if we are struck by an arrow. That is the pain itself, and it is real. But then, almost immediately, we fire a second arrow into ourselves. We add shame, self-criticism, catastrophic thinking, and endless mental replay. And that second arrow, the one we shoot ourselves, often hurts far more than the first. Sit with that this morning. Think of one difficulty in your life right now. Notice the raw experience of it. And then, gently, notice everything you have added to it. The stories about how it will never change, the fear that it defines you, the exhaustion of carrying not just the problem, but every thought you have had about the problem. Mindfulness, at its most practical, is simply the practice of learning to see the difference between what is actually happening and what your mind is adding to it. When you develop that awareness, something quietly powerful occurs. You stop suffering twice. You meet the first arrow with presence and compassion, and you begin to put down the second. This does not mean you dismiss your pain. Buddhism never asks for that. It asks for something far more courageous. It asks you to see your pain clearly, without elaboration, without the crushing weight of every fear you have ever attached to it. Just this moment, just this breath, just what is actually true right now, in this very morning. You are allowed to let the story rest. even just for today. 3. Impermanence is not loss, it is liberation. There is a word in Buddhist teaching that many people initially resist: impermanence. It can sound at first like a reminder of loss, a quiet warning that nothing lasts, that everything you love will eventually change or disappear. But spend a little more time with this teaching and something remarkable happens. Impermanence stops feeling like a threat and begins to feel like the most relieving truth you have ever encountered. If everything changes, then so does this. Whatever you are carrying this morning, whatever hardship has made your chest feel tight and your future feel uncertain, it is not permanent. Not because life is magically going to fix itself, but because nothing, absolutely nothing, stays exactly as it is. The most difficult seasons of every human life have eventually shifted. Not always in the way we wanted, but they shifted. Think back to a hardship from your past that once felt insurmountable, something that at the time you were not sure you would survive emotionally. And notice that you are here, that it changed, that you, in ways perhaps subtle and quiet, changed with it. Impermanence is not only about loss, it is about the fluid, living nature of all experience. Your pain is impermanent, your fear is impermanent. Even the heaviness you woke up with this morning is already slowly in motion. Buddhism invites you to stop gripping so tightly to the shape your life has right now and to trust the river. This morning, let impermanence be your comfort rather than your fear. What feels fixed and heavy today is already beginning, in ways invisible to you, to shift. You do not need to force it. You only need to stop insisting that it stay. 4. Compassion begins before you leave your bed. Most of us have been taught to reserve compassion for moments of obvious suffering. We feel it when we see someone in crisis, when a loved one is visibly broken, when the pain is undeniable. But Buddhism teaches something quieter and more radical. Compassion is not a reaction to suffering. It is a practice you carry into every ordinary moment. And it begins, before anything else, with yourself. This morning, before the demands of the day reach you, place one hand gently over your heart, not as a performance, but as a genuine gesture of acknowledgement. You have been trying. Through the exhaustion, through the uncertainty, through the days that felt too long and the nights that felt too short, you have kept going. That deserves to be seen, especially by you. Self-compassion in Buddhism is not self-indulgence. It is not an excuse to avoid growth or responsibility. It is the simple, profound act of treating yourself with the same kindness you would offer a dear friend who came to you struggling. You would not tell that friend they were weak. You would not list their failures. You would sit with them. You would remind them of their goodness. You would make them feel less alone. That is what you deserve this morning. That quality of presence directed inward. When you begin the day from a place of self-compassion, something changes in how you meet the world. You become less reactive, less brittle. The hardships that once triggered shame or frustration begin to feel more navigable because you are no longer fighting yourself and the situation at the same time. You are, instead, facing life with a gentleness that becomes its own kind of strength. Start there. Start with yourself. Let that be enough for this morning. 5. Finding stillness in the middle of a demanding life. You do not have to retreat to a monastery to experience peace. This is one of the most important things Buddhism can offer someone living a full, complicated, demanding modern life. Peace is not a destination you arrive at after all your problems are solved. It is a quality of attention you can access right now in the middle of everything. The noise of daily life is real. The responsibilities, the notifications, the conversations that linger in your mind long after they have ended. The mental to-do list that begins before your feet even touch the floor. Life is genuinely full, and yet inside all of that fullness, there is always a thread of stillness available to you. Buddhism calls this your original nature, the awareness that exists beneath the thinking, beneath the planning, beneath the worrying. It is always there, quiet, patient, waiting. This morning reflection is itself an act of returning to that stillness, not by silencing your thoughts, because that is not the practice, but by gently stepping back from them, becoming the one who watches the mind rather than being swept along by it. Even 30 seconds of that perspective can change the tone of an entire day. Throughout today, when the hardships press in, when the demands feel louder than your capacity, remember that stillness is not somewhere else. It is here, beneath the noise, as it has always been. You do not need perfect conditions to access it. You only need a breath, a moment of intention, and the willingness to return again and again without judgment, without frustration, simply returning. That is the whole practice, and it is always, always available to you. 6. Every morning is an act of courage. Every morning you open your eyes and choose to face another day, you are doing something that deserves to be honored. Not celebrated loudly, but acknowledged quietly in the privacy of your own heart. Because showing up to your life, especially on the hard days, especially when the path ahead is unclear and the energy is low, is an act of genuine courage. Buddhism does not ask you to be fearless. It asks something far more attainable. It asks you to be present. The Buddhist warrior is not someone who defeats external enemies or conquers difficult circumstances through sheer force. The warrior is the one who turns toward their own inner life with honesty, who sits with discomfort rather than running from it, who chooses awareness over numbness and openness over bitterness. That quality of courage is not dramatic or loud. It looks most days like simply choosing not to let the hardships close your heart. And that is exactly what you are doing this morning, by pausing, by reflecting, by refusing to let the weight of daily life become the whole of your experience. You are practicing something quietly revolutionary. You are learning to meet your life rather than merely survive it. Carry this with you as your day begins, not as pressure or expectation, but as a gentle reminder. Every moment of mindfulness you bring to a difficult situation is reshaping how you experience that situation. Every time you respond with awareness instead of reacting from fear, you are building something lasting inside yourself. A steadiness, a quiet confidence, a relationship with your own life that grows deeper with every passing morning. You woke up today. You chose to reflect. You are already, in the most meaningful sense, on the path, and that is more than enough. You came to this morning carrying something heavy, and perhaps it is still there, but perhaps just slightly the way you are holding it has shifted. That is the work, not the removal of hardship, but the transformation of your relationship with it. Buddhism does not promise an easy life. It offers something more enduring, the wisdom to meet whatever comes with presence, compassion, and grace. Come back to this reflection whenever the weight returns. You are not alone, and you are more capable than you know.